Well, we're only back with To the Point. Passed a couple of years ago with bipartisan support, the No Child Left Behind Act is supposed to level the playing field by providing an equal education for all kids, no matter their backgrounds or where they live. Accountability is supposed to come from tests in reading and math, with the threat of sanctions against schools where scores don't improve.
Often we don't get the resources to help us make the gains. I'm a believer that when you have the tools necessary, you can make progress. Sometimes when you look around and you need that extra help in mathematics and you need that extra help with professional development and you need the resources to be able to fund all of the positions and the technology and the various programs that we know work, you don't find it. And I think that is a problem not just at Orville Wright, but statewide for California and probably nationwide. I think what happens is that public education is getting short shrift. The other problem is that if the subgroups or any particular group doesn't make its annual measurable objectives, then the whole school is labeled as a failing school. Now, one of the issues with middle school children, and this happened with me, and if you think back at your own lives, you may be able to identify with it, is that sometimes when you're going through adolescence, you have so many things on your mind about puberty and fitting in and being accepted and identity that it's about more than doing well in school. It's about how you feel about yourself on any given day. For me, I did very poorly in middle school, but in college I was on the dean's list. So it was a matter of maturation. What made the difference for me was relationships. If there was a teacher that really cared, or an adult on campus that said, "You're smart, you really can do this," or if there was a subject matter that I really felt emotionally connected to, then I did well. So I think what No Child Left Behind does is it sometimes makes us miss the developmental aspects and importance of the maturing child, particularly the middle school kid.
Okay, very interesting point.
I think overall that it's a distraction, and in a sense I think it's a cheap way for the federal government to get out of what I think are the critical issues in education. I don't think we're spending enough money on underserved children. And so focusing attention on test scores, I think, is a distraction from what the real issue is. If we want to improve our schools, there are a couple things we could do right away. We could cut class size in inner city schools in half, which would require hiring 100% more teachers, which would require a whole lot more funds going into education. We could make sure that in inner city schools every child had books to take home, just sort of basic kinds of things which teachers don't have. I've talked to many teachers who have to Xerox materials for their students to take home. So the dropout rate is the thing that concerns me most in inner city schools, and I don't think testing kids addresses the key issue, which is engaging kids. And what I hear from teachers all over the city is that the focus on testing squeezes the joy out of learning for the students and for them, the teachers. And I've talked to many teachers who were saying, you know what, I want to get out of the field. I can't stand this mania that we have as a nation with testing now.